Everyone loves a good sinner, and it would be a sin for you not to go see Sinners. And no, you won't need to go to church or get sprinkled with holy water after seeing this film.
That the power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
In Ryan Coogler's latest film, Sinners, he takes us on a journey into a horror genre that none of us have ever seen before. We are transported back to the time of the 1930s, where we meet a group of people whose lives are about to be turned upside down, all because of some soulful blues music. I mean, nothing bad ever happens at a juke joint, right? Hey gang, welcome back to Oscar-Obsessed ADHD. Today, we're diving into Sinners, the fifth film from Ryan Coogler that again has him reuniting with the incredible Michael B. Jordan. We all know Coogler cannot work without Jordan. I mean, we're batting 5 out of 5 here. However, Coogler definitely knows how to bring out the best in Jordan. To say this film is unique doesn't quite seem to do it justice. I mean, this movie marries together classic horror with a modern-ish twist as it takes place in the 1930s in the Jim Crow South. I mean, there is so much to unpack here. Stick around as I provide a spoiler-free review of the film, sharing what worked, the few things that didn't, my golden moment, and why I believe this could be a serious contender for Oscar nominations. Oh, and I'll also share my rating at the end, so you won't want to miss that. Sinners gives us a refreshing take on horror as we begin the movie with Smoke and Stack, twin brothers played by the fabulous Michael B. Jordan. I asked myself, what is going on in 2025? Like, is this the year of actors playing double? First we have Pattinson in Mickey 17, then we have Robert De Niro in Alto Kings, and now Coogler with Jordan? Maybe the film world is trying to tell us that we need more of these actors in our lives? I don't know. All I know though is that Jordan delivers one of his best performances as both Smoke and Stack. The mannerisms, the delivery of dialogue, like you can easily see the division between these two characters. And I'm not quite sure that any other director understands Jordan quite the way Coogler does. And I'm also not quite sure that any other actor can deliver on Coogler's vision the way Jordan does. Now, this is Coogler's first venture into a film that isn't based on a real story or a previously established character or storyline. So this is all new territory for him. Now, I went into this film knowing some things about it, right? Like, how can you avoid the trailers? However, for me, my expectation was more around, can Coogler deliver us another great film? There has never been a Coogler film I haven't loved or rewatched numerous times. Thanks, ADHD. His directorial debut was the indie film Fruitville Station, which scored the Audience Award and the Grand Jury Prize at the 2013 Sundance Film Award, and then he went on, of course, to win the In Certain Regard Future Award at Cannes. This was also the film world's first introduction to Jordan's brilliance on the big screen. These two then go on to reunite in Coogler's sophomore film Creed, which is the 7th film in the Rocky series. And oh my God, guys, who doesn't love Rocky, right? Then Coogler shows the entire world what he can do with superheroes as he brought us Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which, did you guys know for your knowledge that Coogler was actually the youngest Marvel studio director ever? In this film, Coogler opens up slowly. He kind of allows us to invest in the characters, understand their backstories, where they're coming from, and feel that like connection to them. Something that we never get in most horror films. I mean, do we ever really feel for the characters we're watching in horror films? This does have kind of a slow burn in the beginning, which, I get it guys, can be a challenge to some people. I appreciated it because like it set the stage for what was to come. So only advice I can give you guys is hang in there. It will totally be worth it. And this film has a stellar cast. I mean, each one of them delivers in their roles so phenomenally. It's brilliant. First, we have Smoke and Stack. And I really felt like I knew like who they were, where they came from, and what they wanted for their future. So the story basically goes, and again, this is a spoiler-free review, guys. So we've got Smoke and Stack, who served in World War I. And then they lived in Chicago for a bit of time, worked for some gangsters, and now they returned to their hometown of Mississippi Delta. Now, guys, we have to remember, this is the 1930s. So we've got Prohibition, gangsters, and, well, like I said, these two brothers have learned a thing or two in Chicago. They look the part, they act the part, and when they come home, they have big plans. Because, well, why not, man? They got a stack of cash, cases of illegal beer, and a brilliant idea to open a juke joint. The crazy part is they want to open this juke joint all in like one day. I mean, okay, cool. I guess if you got the cash, you got the cash. So they buy a sawmill off of an old white dude who, by the way, is probably part of the KKK, but I guess green is green and money is money. Now they got this place, they got the alcohol. So what else is needed for a juke joint? Well, duh, they need some staff. So they hire themselves an alcoholic blues guy named Delta Slim, who is played by Delroy Lindo, who is absolutely fabulous throughout the film. Then they hire a hoodoo woman named Annie, who's played by Onimi Musaku, and her job is to cook food. And then 2 bartenders, who are Grace and Bo Chow, who are played by Lee Jun Lee and Yao. Except at this point, they're still lacking something to make this a great juke joint. You guessed it, peeps, they need themselves a rock star. A musician who can knock their socks off. Lucky for Smoke and Stack, they have a cousin named Sammy, who is a preacher's son. And Sammy is played by Miles Canton. And you guys, he can belt out one heck of a tune, which should probably be no surprise to us as he is a backup singer for her. Canton, though, delivers a standout performance. I mean, he can hold his own within this cast. And what's even more shocking is that this is his debut feature film. I mean, holy shit, guys. His performance is absolutely one that will be remembered. And Coogler does a terrific job of immersing us, the audience, in the 1930s world. Not only do we have the opening of the juke joint, but we're surrounded by the racism that exists at this time. And we witness this all through the love story between Stack and his ex-love, who's played by the beautiful and talented Haley Steinfeld. The movie is 2 hours and 17 minutes, and so for the first hour-ish, you feel as if Coogler has baited the hook. The line is right there, and the fish is just about ready to bite, and then he yanks the line away from us. Wait, I guess that makes us in this fish situation? I don't know. I love fishing, except I couldn't do it without my uncle because there's no way I'm taking the fish off the hook. I mean, I can bait my own, but all right, I digress, guys, but seriously, I felt like every time I was right about to get the bait, he would yank it away. But seriously, it's like that hour, you know there's something coming, all this tension's building, and then bam, Coogler's got us. After all of this character building and watching them work together, we have finally gotten into the juke joint. And the film has shifted into 4th gear. We are in overdrive. As we are brought into the second half of this film, this is really where Coogler shines and shows his love for movies. Coogler actually made history, as this is the first film ever to be shot simultaneously with 2 different camera systems. So basically, he had the Ultra Panavision 70 and the IMAX camera system shooting at the exact same time and shooting in different ratios. The cinematographer Autumn Durald Archipel became the first woman ever to shoot on both 65mm and IMAX. And this is the first time any movie has combined these 2 into one film, which allows for like an intensity and an immersiveness that you can feel in the audience. Now, shooting in these 2 different formats also gives you, the audience, more options when selecting tickets. So like, my analysis paralysis went into overdrive and caused me confusion. And especially, guys, if you live out of South Dakota and you get some of those dope specialty screens that theaters have created just for movies like this, oh my gosh, I don't know how you decide. Coogler actually ended up creating a video breaking down the differences that I'm gonna link below in my description so you guys can like figure it out on your own. Basically, here's the way my ADHD brain breaks down his video into easily consumable bits. In the widest format, which is Ultra Panavision 70, it'll crop along the top and bottom, and so this is the tallest format, whereas IMAX will crop it along the left and right. Because this movie was shot in 2 different formats, if you're not like in an IMAX theater, when those IMAX scenes come up, you'll get like kind of black bars, so you've got some like negative space at the top. This doesn't detract from the film. However, if you are OCD like me, you may notice it, but I'm telling you, it's not a huge like deterrent from the film. You may also notice that shooting in IMAX does kind of sometimes leave the background within the shots not as crisp and clean as we would have liked. So that is a little bit of the downfall between combining the 2. Now, there is one scene, and again, no spoilers here, during Sammy's like playing at the juke joint, that regardless of what theater style you watch it in, gang, it's breathtakingly spectacular. And a scene that I'm telling you guys is going to resonate with you for some time after. Now, I would think that while viewing it in IMAX would be a bonus, I really think it's unnecessary for your viewing pleasure. If you can't see it in IMAX, it's not a huge loss. However, it would be a loss, gang, if you don't go see it in theaters. Plus, we need to keep the movie theaters going, gang, so keep seeing films in theaters. As the juke joint opens, we still feel as though we are in this period piece, right? Living in the 30s, about to go to a rockin' party down at the old local sawmill that's been turned into a juke joint. Wait, didn't they take over an old sawmill for prom in the movie Footloose, which I watched way too many times as a child? Am I missing something here? Am I the only person who's never been to a party at an old sawmill? But okay, I think what also helps put us in the 30s and feeling immersed in that culture is the great costume design work of the two-time Oscar winner Ruth E. Carter. Every little detail and authenticity is felt in those costumes. And here again, I think having worked with Coogler on both of the Black Panther films, for which is what she won the Oscars for, helps her ensure that like his vision is accurately reflected on the screen. And that helps us as audiences feel like we're there. And isn't that what we want when we go to a movie in the theater? In this film, I also feel as though I'm there because of like the score and the soundtrack. I mean, it is absolutely mind-blowing, phenomenal. It shines throughout the entire film, which really shouldn't surprise any of us, as the score was done by two-time Oscar winner Ludwig Göransson, who, by the way, also worked with Coogler on the Black Panther films. So, I mean, here's the thing, guys. No matter which theater format you end up choosing, I will tell you, go to the one that has the most speakers and the biggest sound, because you're gonna feel it. I mean, there are moments with no dialogue where the sound is just there. And I mean, you are transported. And I mean, I think that's also what cinema does so well, is that you forget you're sitting in this movie theater with all these other people and you're just in it. And there is such a haunting depth and like fevered emotion that you feel with that sound. You're not going to want to miss it. While a lot of people out there are calling this the Dusk to Dawn 2.0 movie, I simply disagree with that. I mean, yes, both films start as non-vampire movies, then end with vampires. That to me is where the similarities end. Vampires don't make movies the same, and this is far from what I would categorize as a vampire movie. I ask myself again, is this movie automatically considered a vampire movie simply because it has a vampire in it? Who knows? All I know is that when we are introduced to Remick, who's played by Jack O'Connell, you are immediately taken by the passion in which O'Connell delivers his performance. You can see the foreshadowing, you can feel it. You know when Remick gets there, shit's about to hit the fan. It's gonna go down. And yet within all of the fear and the violence and the horror, Coogler continues to explore the relationships, all of that character building that we did in the first hour. So I told you guys, it was gonna be worth the slow burn. Oh, and what's a movie with vampires without some sort of love interest, sexual tension? I mean, duders, let's be real. It happens in all of these films. There's always some type of vampire seduction. This time it reminded me very much of 1990's Interview with a Vampire. I'm just saying, we get it in every movie. Part of what makes this film different from like other vampire flicks is that Coogler attempts to address social topics within the storyline. And to a majority of viewers, the underlying social topics will go completely unnoticed. They're not like slammed in your face, forced down your throat to devour. Not like Mickey 17 was. It's like there for you to take if you wanted. He's like serving it on a platter and saying, please come eat, but if not, that's okay. I mean, he explores Black families and their connectedness to their past, the racial history, what it means to be Black, trying to own a business, returning from the war, and all of the importance that music is to their entire culture. And again, this is a spoiler-free review, and all I would say is that the vampires are representing white people and how maybe white people shouldn't be trying to come into the juke joint, as it's not their place. You're gonna have to let me know what you guys think about that part. As we watch the characters play off of each other through both the beginning half and then the dramatic second half, we can see how this cast so brilliantly comes together. I mean, it's almost as if they feed off of each other. I guess feed's a weird word since it's a vampire movie, but yeah, okay. They like feed off of each other's energy. The on-screen chemistry is believable and it's electric. And now, let's talk about the golden moment for me, the one I told you about. And that is the scene that happens during the credits. I know, guys, right? A scene that happens during the credits. I won't give away too much because I don't do spoilers, but trust me, you will want to stay in your seat for this one. It's not just some like minor thing or little goofs. Like, I'm legit telling you right now, it's like a whole other scene. So don't be rushing to the bathroom, hold it, tell your date to take a chill pill, hold their horses. Traffic's not going anywhere, and it's not going to be any better if you leave now or you leave after the credits. So kick back and enjoy the movie you paid for. Plus, your date should just want to spend more time with you, whether it's in traffic or not. I'm just saying, gang, this encapsulates the movie and leaves the audience buzzing. I'm just saying, gang, that scene encapsulates the movie and it leaves the entire audience, well, for those of the people that stayed buzzing. In all of my movie viewing years, I have never seen an entire scene be placed in the credits before. Heck, no surprise given all the other stuff that Coogler does in this film to like make history. Sinners is a masterful blend of horror and character-driven storytelling, and I genuinely believe, guys, that this is one of the best films of 2025, and for that reason, I'm giving it a solid 4.5 out of 5 reels. There is no denying what Coogler delivers to us, and it's bound to garner some, if not a ton, of Oscar nominations. And I told you to stick around for it, and here are my Oscar predictions for Sinners. Which again, guys, follow me on the Award Expert app. I'll follow you back. You can track my predictions. I'll track yours, and I'll also put them out on my YouTube site. Now, let's start with the acting. That amazing debut performance of Miles Canton won't earn him an Oscar nom, but I am predicting he will receive an EE Rising Star BAFTA nomination. And there's nowhere for me to track that in the Award Expert app, so guys, note it right now. I'm calling it for the Rising Star BAFTA nomination. He is a brilliant performer, and he has a bright future ahead of him. And then we have Delroy Lindo, who I'm telling you guys has a real chance at a supporting actor nom. He has a great personal narrative. The film community adores him, and his performance in this film is so unique and deep, and honestly, he just steals every scene he's in. And with the magnitude of this film, how do we not talk about Michael B. Jordan? I mean, not only does he deliver us one stellar performance, but he gives us two, and they're so completely different, and you can see that. I think given all that, this is gonna like catapult him right into the best lead actor category. A lot of that will come down to like precursor awards, yet I don't see any reason he doesn't for sure lock up Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, and Screen Actors Guild Award for sure. So I'm telling you guys, be looking out for like Michael B. Jordan in the Oscar conversation. Remember how I told you to go to the theater that has the most sound? It's got to be no surprise here then that I'm predicting Ludwig Göransson for a Best Score nomination. And given that this is one soundtrack I will definitely be listening to on repeat, I have to predict that one of the songs from this film will end up being nominated for Best Original Song. But after you guys go to the film, you're gonna know the pain point I'm having right now. The real decision becomes which one am I going to nominate for Best Original Song? And I think for me, I have to go with Dangerous. This was the one that was written and performed by Haley Steinfeld. The tech and craft categories get a little bit harder for me, but right now I'm seeing that there's two locks in, and one of those would be for the cinematographer Autumn Darald Arkapow. Despite some of the issues that might be seen when the film switches between like ratios and cameras, I mean, what they did in this film in trying to do something new, breaking the mold, going out on a limb, like, I mean, come on guys, you got to admire anybody who's going to shoot two different cameras, two different ratios for the entire movie. The fact that she was able to pull it off, I think she's a lock in for a cinematography nom. And then I also think for costume design, Ruth E. Carter is going to end up cinching this one up. I mean, every little element not only embraced the 1930s vibe, but then she got to create 1930s vampires. I mean, what do 1930s vampires look like? I don't know, but she figured it out. And her history with the Oscars is fabulous. She's been nominated 4 times, she won twice, and she actually was the first ever African-American woman to win this category. So I think without a doubt, Sinners cinches up her 5th nom. There's one tech category I'm kind of on the bubble on, and that's Michael P. Shalver for film editing. Now, he did work with Coogler previously on Creed and Black Panther, which you can tell in the editing. And again, you look at like the historicness of this film, and you can imagine what a bitch editing this film together had to have been. While there is some like choppiness, however, given with what they were working with, I still think it's pretty remarkable. However, it's kind of early in the season, and given the choppiness, I just don't know that I can put him up into that 5th place spot. So I've got him right there on 6th, but don't be surprised if I end up bumping him up. I know it's only April, and 2025 hasn't given us great films so far this year. So you're probably thinking, well, Lisa, it's really easy for you to make these predictions and say these things. Yet, gang, I'm telling you, I looked at like what's in the hopper for the rest of the year, and this one, Sinners, it's gonna go down as one of the best films of 2025. Seriously, there is so much remarkableness and uniqueness about this film. I mean, the storyline, the dialogue, the cast. It's a Western horror genre. I mean, it just all works. It's brilliant. I mean, I have to give Ryan Coogler the nomination not only for Best Original Screenplay, but also Best Director. Now, I'm not quite sure if the Directors Guild will end up nominating him. I think regardless of what DGA does, this film is garnering and will continue to garner much love and awards buzz that he will have to be in consideration. That is unless, of course, he follows the fate of John M. Chu from last year's successful Wicked, where you know, he won other things, but didn't get nominated for the Oscar. So director could be interesting, but right now I gotta put him in there. Probably already see this one coming, and so I'm probably preaching to the choir, but there is no way, gang, I could not put this one on my list of Best Picture Oscar nominees. Let's be real, this film is blowing up on review sites. 8.2 on IMDb, 98% on Tomato Meter, 96% on Popcorn Meter, 4.2 on Letterboxd, and an 84 on Metacritic. Wowzers. You might be thinking, well, of course they're high. It just released on Friday and not everyone's seen it. Yet, I'm telling you, gang, no matter how many people see it, I think those ratings are gonna stay super high. Oh, and by the way, I'm not just adding it to my list of Best Picture Oscar nominees, I'm putting it at number 2. And y'all know I gotta leave Wicked for Good at number 1 for now. I'm just a diehard Wicked file through and through. So, I mean, I'm sure I'll change it, yet for now, I have to have some loyalty. Well, gang, if these predictions tell you anything, it should tell you how much I believe in this film. Right now, I have it getting 9 Oscar nominations. That's right, 9. With a possibility of a 10th. That is huge. Seriously, duders, check it out in the theater. Check it out in different formats. Check it out numerous times. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Is this on your must-see list like it was on mine? Drop your thoughts. Let's talk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. All of the films, all of the categories through my Oscar-obsessed ADHD point of view. Thanks, and until next time, what do you think of my Oscar picks?